What's up, it's Nintendo 64 Austin, and yet again we're doing another collection video as part of this 100 subscriber special thing, and we're gonna be starting with my Nintendo stuff as part of the Game Boy games that I have. Yeah, we're gonna be starting with my OG Game Boy games that I have. I don't have that many OG Game Boy games because I've started collecting OG Game Boy games since February of this year, which was bussin'. So yeah, there are some more I want to get because they're just must-haves for the Game Boy. So yeah, I thought we might start off that, but before we do, here is the Game Boy Color that I have. Yep, here is the Atomic Purple Game Boy Color that I have. I got this system since June 2022 at McKay's for about $80, which is a good deal for a Game Boy system, but it's it's an okay condition, although the labels, which is probably the serial number and barcode and the detail label, is completely ripped, and yeah, and everything, and except for the Nintendo World Class Service Center label right there, and the buttons work. The screen, it's shield is scratched, but I mean, as far as it works, I'm happy with it. So let's put this to the side. Now let's go over my OG Game Boy games that I have that this can focus. There we go. First up is Super Mario Land, which is one of the must-haves for the Game Boy. Along with Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. I will get those games soon because they're just popular titles, but Super Mario Land is a good one to start off. I got this for training Donkey Kong Land, which somehow that wasn't working for some reason, and I was just sick and tired of it, so I had to sell it to get this game, and that, however, got resolved. So there's that. And I've also completed this game too, which was very short, but still a good game, to be quite honest. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan. I love this game. It's basically a conversion of the first Ninja Turtles game that was on NES, because some Game Boy games are just NES counterparts, which is very weird if you ask me. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan, it's good. I want to try out the other two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games that were on Game Boy, which are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Back from the Sewers, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Radical Rescue. Part 2 is cheap, but Part 3 is expensive. I know getting that game is gonna suck, but I don't know why Part 3 seems to be expensive, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not that rare, but it's over $50 to $80 as I'm recording this, but it's whatever. Dr. Mario, another game that was released on the NES but got ported to the Game Boy. This is basically a NES conversion of this game. So there's that. Oh my God, focus. Space Invaders. I know this game was released on the SNES, but I got the Game Boy version because I own the Game Boy Color just to play OG Game Boy games on there. Because if you don't know, the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and even the Game Boy Advance SP can play OG Game Boy games. And for Game Boy Advance and SP, they can play Game Boy Color games. So, um, um. That's a little bit of note if you're collecting Game Boy stuff like me. But focus, you stupid freaking piece of crap. There we go. Space Invaders, good shoot 'em up, I guess. It's like Galaga, but it's just very different. Batman Forever. This is basically both movie-based game and beat 'em up because this game was released on several systems. Which this game was released on the SNES, the OG Game Boy version, which I have, Game Gear, Genesis, and the Sega Saturn, which was an arcade version, and even a PS1, which were arcade versions. But Batman Forever OG, it's good game. I want to get the other Batman games on OG Game Boy because they're just for NES versions on a portable cartridge. And speaking of NES versions on portable cartridge, here's Tetris. This game was packed with the Game Boy, and that Game Boy sold really well because those initial ones shipped with this game. And this is basically a launch title for the OG Game Boy. And same thing with Super Mario Land. What else? Tennis, baseball, etc. Nemesis. Very difficult shoot 'em up, but it's a good one, to be honest. F1 Race. Now, I know this game uses the 4-player compatibility, so you can play 4-player games with this game, and Super RC Pro Am uses the 4-player compatibility accessory for that game. But F1 Race, good racing game, to be honest. And my final Game Boy game I have is Castlevania Adventure. Yes! You guys saw my game update of this yesterday when I got this game for almost $24. Which, it's a pretty cheap game if you can find it, but the other two are basically a different story, where Castlevania 2, on the other hand, you can find the cartridge for $60 to $80, while completed box you can get it for about $500, which is pretty insane. And even Castlevania Legends, where that is rare and hard to find. And same thing for Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. Why are they so high? I have no idea. But Castlevania Legends, on the other hand, was a late release game. Came out probably early 1998, probably before the Game Boy Color came out, and 2 years after the N64 came out, which was insane for a Game Boy game to release so late. But if I can find that game for a cheaper option, that would be nice. And for Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, it's not that expensive, but I definitely want to get my hands on it as soon as I'm done completing this game, because Castlevania Adventure, it's a good game, to be honest. Well, that, my dudes, it's my OG Game Boy collection. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Comment down below. What is your favorite Game Boy game? Is it Super Mario Land, Link's Awakening, Metroid 2, or any other Game Boy game is your favorite? So let me know. And this is Nintendo 64 Austin Insane signing out, and peace, and thank you guys for 100 subscribers. It really means a lot.